Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is that time of the month again where we are streaming live for you, amazing fempreneurs, female entrepreneurs in the online space, wanting to be free from burnout and overwhelm. That's correct. That's where we are. So, already live this morning from 6 a.m. So you have your Instagrammers are up there, so you will see me. Instagrammers, you're up here. So you will have to click the link in the bio in order to join us in the group because you've already missed your yoga session this morning. You know, your energetic flow. So we need to get those juices flowing. We need to get that energy going. We need to get everything moving around. So intensive 4 days burnout retreat to stop the overwhelm, to stop the burnout. The overwhelm causes the burnout in your business. You are one person that more or less has a family, especially if you're female, got the kids, got the family, got the fur babies, trying to run a business, trying to grow to these, excuse me, my kids like to get on with their breakfast and doing what they do in the background. All right. Okay. So these are the sort of things that you're dealing with because it's all a bit stressful, isn't it? It all gets just a little bit too much. Yeah, it does. Let's not lie. Now, the entrepreneur space I've been in for 20 plus years. It's exhausting. It's draining. You are one of millions of other women. And the reason why we become entrepreneurs is because by the time we've had our first baby or we have got to a certain level in our career and we want a certain lifestyle, we know it ain't coming unless you work for yourself. And so also the shape shifting out there in the moonology, in the lunar cycles, in the astrology, in the quantum field, the feminine energy is rising, and it's rising so quickly. Women are hearing their voices. Women are hearing what is going on in and around them, and they want to rise up. They want to step up. And this is what I do. Liberate Your Soul is the name of my business, and I create women to liberate their souls. You are stepping into your spiritualism. You're stepping into your soulful connections, mind, body, soul, spirit, all of it. I teach all of it from a physical to a spiritual to a soulful level because it all connects. Okay. Now, if you do not have that connection with your mind doesn't have the connection to the spirit, the Atman is not functioning through the hormonal and emotional system of the body. Guess what? Your soul is so disconnected from your whole entire self that you do not hear what the hell you're supposed to be doing next. Yes, it's about strategies. Yes, it's about planning. They're the physical layers. But they're the physical layers that action what God, what spirit, what your soul actually wants for you. So these are the sort of things you need to start tapping into. I am not joking or hiding anymore. I've said it in every single one of my lives, every single one of my videos. If you are willing to get that healing, step into that spiritual self, you are not going to succeed. Okay, because what you're trying to achieve is coaching and helping other women. I ain't having a dig out of anyone. It's a fact. I've been doing this for 20 odd years. You will drop because there isn't any physical, soulful, spiritual connection from what you're doing to what your client wants. Okay, and the reason for that is because there's no intuitive connection. I've been in the spiritual space since the day I walked onto this planet. And I see the biggest secret in life is I ain't afraid to tell you for free, no problem. There is no connection. And the reason why I tell you all of this, no, I don't have to, is simply because it takes repeat, 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 repeat for that even to happen. Okay? Before you can even think to yourself, oh, I get what she means now. And furthermore, having these lives and having this power for me to share these messages with you and this energy with you is literally also the fact that it might not be your time to action these messages yet. You only act when it's time, divine timing. They'll tell you when it's right for you. Okay? Excellent. We're going to move on. So we're going straight into energy. So energy, what is it? Number one, energy is your food. Number two, energy is the way you move in your body. And number three, energy is your spiritual practices that align you with your physical outcome. Let me say that again. Your energy is your food, your body, your soul, your spirit, and how that reacts to your spirit, your Atman, gives you your physical outcome. Okay, I do talk fast, I do talk quick. Get your pens, get your papers, or rewatch this. It's gonna, all this material's up for the whole week, so don't worry about it. All right. Now, wow. Now, if you are really lacking in energy, which is going to happen regularly as what you're doing, you are trying to keep up to date online. Okay, we're going to go into the female entrepreneur space in a moment, building your own business in a minute, because it's very significant at the moment. And I'm tapping into this energy and they want me to talk about it. They also want me to highlight the nutritional factors of your daily life. Okay. And they also want us to talk about and tap into that soulful energy. What can I do, Vanessa, to get this connection with my clients, with myself, with my family? How can I surrender? How can I stop this constant wanting to work? When is this going to stop? All right. So we are here now in the present moment. What that means for you is very different what that means for me and what that means for the person standing next to me. We are in a force field of energy that is created by this is matter. Okay, our physical brain has been programmed by the matrix, yeah, and you want to break out of that. And then there's above us. So you've got the spirit realm and all the other realms that go with that. You've got the 12 stages of humanity. You've got the 8 laws of what are you trying to tell me? The quantum fields. You've got the quantum field, the universe, the gods, the frequencies, it goes on and on. And Ariston, great song, 80s, by the way. Can't remember what it was called. Anyway, so that's where we're at. How do you, as a human being, action all this power? How are some people getting all these results? How are some people living this life and every day they wake up, they're just magic? You know, them ones I'm talking about, like they have no problems in their life whatsoever. That is their subconscious already programmed into that spiritual energy, into that soulful-like energy. They haven't got a clue what they're doing, no. But they just live by it, and they live by it subconsciously. As the law of attraction states, the law of it can happen subconsciously and consciously to the right people. And as the science of getting rich says, due to them living in a certain way. All right. So people like myself that literally, honestly, it is true, especially if you get those dodgy Facebook messages. There is such things as curses. There are such things as spells, and they can be bad and they can be good. Curses inevitably are pretty bad. And I come from a long line of curses. I come from a long, long line of curses, even from my past lives. And my past lives have still had keys and cords attached to the people that are my family and the circle I call family, the circle in where I extend from that energy I extend from. As human beings, we are so powerful, we have no idea how powerful we are until we start asking for a free cup of coffee. Good one. Until we start asking for that free car parking space. Another good practice. Until we're trying to get out of a junction somewhere when we're stuck in the car and there's cars everywhere and we say, can you let me out, please? Can you let somebody let me out? And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, you've been sitting there, the cars part, you know, like the sea parting for Moses. This is the sort of thing that happens. This is where spiritual literature comes from, not aimed at women, because women have had their power and we've been out of the circle for so long because of how intuitive we are. The male got scared. The male got scared of the female not only being able to do 100 things at once and focus on 100 million things at once and bring results, but they also got frightened because of the intuitive power of the empath, the empress that we are able to endure. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is where we're at now. So we're at this energetic flow. We're trying to get all the things. We're trying to do all the things. And I am exhausted, burnt out, overwhelmed, don't know what to do, constantly ill. Everybody says to me, oh, yeah, well, I've got a health coach. Oh, yeah, well, I'm doing my couch to 5K. It's the consistency, consistency, consistency. And it's the same as within your business. So when we are trying to beat the overwhelm, okay, when we are trying to, hey, Sam, welcome to the Burnout Retreat, intensive 4 days, my darling. If you want to click on the bio, then you can jump onto the Facebook group. Sorry to interrupt you, everybody. I just saw a really old friend. She used to be my business coach, actually. So hi. So yeah, we're talking about beating the overwhelm. So yeah, and they go on about how they want to go on these health trips and how they want to change the way they live their body, but there's no consistency. I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. You know, none of us stick to something first, second, 12, not even the 100th time round. Do you know what I mean? I lost all my weight back in 2010 after having my second baby. It took me a year. It takes a year if you're going to do it properly and you want it to be sustainable and you keep it off. Excuse me, I've got a really itchy nose. And then after that, I haven't put that weight back on. What's happened is I plateaued, but I was still able to keep, I didn't go back to a size 20. I didn't go back to being nearly 18 stone. Do you know what I mean? Of very heavy matter. Now, as I said before, the human body is matter. So the heavier it is, the more it's pushing, the more it's harder to push around. The human body was built to move. We have joints, okay? We have different ways that we can move and jig about, all right? And there are different ways in how we are able to function within this matter. If this matter is too heavy, it doesn't move. It becomes like a rock. The best way to understand this, as much as people would go, oh, that's a disgusting thing to say, but it's truthful, is to look at the walruses. Okay? When they're out of the water, they can't move. When they're in the water, they can move. There's a reason genetically they are like that. And guess what? That's humans as well. Not everybody is supposed to be a size 8. Not everybody is supposed to be a size 10. We're not supposed to have 22-inch waists at a 40-year-old woman, because actually, genetically, that might not be your makeup. And if you are trying to force that matter into physical energy, spiritually, soulfully, you're not aligned with it, that is not your coding. That is not what you were built to do. Okay? I have had eating disorders a majority of my life. I have suffered tremendously psychologically with diets and eating. I used to have a horrendous, like a majority of women, an awful relationship with food. And the reason for it is because it comes from our programming. Let's move on. We want to eat regularly. If you want to keep that energy flowing, regardless of your body type and the state of your matter, then you need to eat regularly. Now, people get this wrong, and a lot of women have huge issues with this. The first reason why somebody cancels out their PT is not because they can't afford it, but it's because they don't want to eat regularly. And the main reason why personal trainers and fitness coaches fail within the first 6 weeks of treating their clients is because if they are offering nutritional diets, factors, and paraphernalia information, then they're not reprogramming their client's DNA. So you would come to somebody like me who pre-programs your DNA only if you're ready, only if it's your calling, and then you would then go into your nutritional factors of your matter to change the matter in order for it to become lighter, and then you're pushing forward through that quantum field, again, gaining all that hyperactivity, that high vibe life. okay? Because the high vibe life doesn't exist if you are not living in a certain way. And that does absolutely mean nutrition, health, and well-being, way above everything else. Because if you're unable to move the matter, you're not thinking, you haven't got the energy for that connection in order for you to gain what you want out of your life and your business. Okay, so what do we do then? So we eat regularly, we eat every 2 hours, we drink up to 4 liters of water a day. That might not be for you. That might not be for you. Again, that might not be for you. For me personally, I have a certain weight, I have a certain body type, there's certain goals I want to reach. I am pushing against that quantum field, that energy. I have had to go back and reprogram my DNA. I've had to go back and get rid of old habits through the DNA in order to push the matter through those quantum tunnels that we call them wormholes. Okay. And sometimes those wormholes are long and dark. And this is where you're changing time and space. All right. When this happens, this is when time and space bends. This is where you get what you want in a matter of 24 hours. It's coming to you. You're pulling it in. Okay. You're releasing this pressure. It's going away. And the matter of the way you're made up is changing. Eating regularly, regardless of what the situation is for you, is going to be different in the foods that you're eating. Okay. Now, your body is made up of a certain type. And depending where you're born, and depending genetically and how you have adapted to that lifestyle and where you live depends on the foods you're going to eat. But it is an absolute fact that the human being cannot live off of starchy carbs, lack of water, and too much animal produce. It's a fact. These teeth were not made to chew on meat. What do we do when we've had a steak? We're getting out the toothpicks, the jaw aches, the body is finding it hard to digest. The matter of the meat sits in the stomach here. I'm not forcing and preaching anybody to be vegan. That's not my thing. I'm not a preacher. Maybe. However, it's your choice. But have a think about it. Have a think about how long it's taking you to eat, how long it's taking you to digest that food. And if it is not right for you, your body is telling you something different. Change the way you eat. Okay. Now, 2 hours meals for me is I wake up, I have my lemon water, I do my body conditioning and yoga because of certain goals I want to reach. 2 hours later, it's porridge oats. 2 hours later, it's fruit. 2 hours or a smoothie. 2 hours later, it's tofu, potato, and salad. It's tofu, potato, and salad. It's tofu, potato, and salad. It's training. It's porridge. It's tofu, potato, and salad. My diet is so clean and so tight because of the goals I want to reach. I know how my body now functions. And quite frankly, it's got to the point that's all it can digest. That's it. It's finished. And as soon as I step out of that diet, my stomach does somersaults. I've got the shits. I've got stomach pains. My skin flares up. My hair is really greasy. My whole body is telling me I cannot digest that food. Don't give it to me again. Your body and your cells are talking to you all the time. And so this is producing energy. Let's go to somebody that eats really badly and they have regularly factory processed foods. They eat a lot of animal produce. They eat a lot of high toxicating foods. Okay. When that happens, they start to have problems over the years with their gut. The intestines start to clog up. They start to slow down. The metabolism is so slow. There's hardly any energy in the body. What happens, everybody? The matter gets bigger and now it's heavier to push. You're feeling lethargic, tired, exhausted, constantly want to go to bed. You start to suffer with things like constipation, acne, tight muscles, tight joints, you know, sore elbows, knees, tight necks. All of this happens. The stress builds up more and more and more and more. And it's harder to push this matter through this existence. Now, the biggest problem people think of is that this is going to be the answer to all their problems. Guess what? No. Reason being, it's my 12th time reading and studying this book, by the way. Spirit have just told me to go back and relearn it. The reason being because you come to a different level of energy. You come to a different level of your teachings. Life is a journey. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and it is supposed to be fun and enjoyable, relaxing, not all this stress. How am I going to pay this bill? It's my daughter's birthday next week. What's going to happen? I've got no money. What's going to happen with the car? I need a new... You can't. You can't. You can't keep going on like that. You have to stop at some point. The stress and the burnout of the overwhelm is not coming from your business. It's coming from you. The way you're seeing yourself, this self-reflection, this pain, this suffering, it's all coming from inside of here, down to bad coding, DNA that needs getting rid of, cords that need cutting. Yes, we can talk about the childhood trauma, the stresses, the strains, the past life experiences. It is all here, and it's all made up of matter in here, and it all needs cleaning out all the time. And your energy levels is what is going to change that, because it's going to get you up every morning. It's going to say to you, it's 9:30, it's bedtime, let's go. No bullshit. If he wants to sit in the living room and watch the telly for 6 hours in the afternoon on a Sunday and he's got shitloads to do himself, that's his problem. If the kids want to piss about all night and refuse to go to bed, that's their problem, not yours. You've done your bit. I've done the dinner. I've done my bit as a mum. You know, whatever. I'm going to bed. It's 9:30. I've told you all. And I'm going up to bed and I'm going to take my cup of tea or herbal tea, whatever, and I'm going to go and read for half an hour. Okay. So we have to have the right foods. We need to eat regularly, and we need to make sure that we are able to focus on ourselves mainly. Because if we aren't able to focus on ourselves, we are unable to, I know, I love coffee. I'm a coffee maniac. If we don't focus on ourselves, then we are unable to help others. And you are the forefront of your business. You are the face of your business. This body, you know, is the way you portray yourself and the way you stand, your authority in front of your clients, you know. And that doesn't mean like everybody's got to have a six-pack and be stripped and ripped. That's just me. That's what I want. That's me. You know what I mean? But for others, that's not necessarily the case. It all comes from you. So in order to eat every 2 hours, how the fucking hell am I going to get that in? You schedule, you plan, you prep. And this is where everything comes into play. This is my 6th, 7th time doing these workshops. This is my 6th, 7th time of doing the burnout retreat. This is the 6th, 7th time I have deleted the previous videos and redone them again, because every single time I'm getting better and better and better and better. The technology is getting better. The way that I produce the content gets better. It's practice, 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 practice. So what I suggest in the burnout retreat, and in order to move forward with me afterwards, is on a Sunday, you take your prep sessions. You plan your foods. You get your shopping list. You get your recipes. Now, what happens with my clients is I give them their shopping list. I give them their recipes that are made up to the shopping list. And then you can go and do your click and collect, and you can go and do your food delivery service, whatever it is you choose to do. It's all there for you. Any woman in business or high-level CEO, executive, working full-time, got the kids, those women, us women here, our life has to be as easy as possible, because we will not have that time on ourselves. I always say, give 2 hours to yourself a day. Your social media should all be planned out. Your content should be planned out. Everything should be automated as much as you can automate it. Okay? Everything should be in form, working through that matter, push, 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 constantly moving forward all the time. Carrying around a heavy amount of matter makes you depressed. The anxiety, the stress, the depression, it all just comes crashing in because you are so tired. You are exhausted. Our skeleton, our muscle, it's a lot to push around, a lot. And that's why people give up exercise. They give up eating clean. But I can guarantee you, in 7 days of eating the food plan that's on the burnout retreat, or taking the smoothies and eating more fruit and drinking more water for 7 days straight without any interruption, I guarantee you, you will notice a difference in your body. You will feel lighter. You will be less bloated. Your joints will stop hurting. And I am saying it out there into the quantum field that is the matrix of the internet. I can guarantee that you will feel different. But there cannot be any interruptions. I'm an expert in interruptions and excuses. Do you know what I mean? I'm an expert in it. So you're talking to me. I get it. But I used to feel sorry for my clients all the time. I used to be like, I know how you feel. And then that would pull me down. No, you can't have that. You have to snap out of it and say, no, you've said that you're going to do, you're being accountable. So again, in the burnout retreat, you can find an accountability partner. You can find somebody to do it with you. All right. Now, how do we get it all in? We've got the daily planner. Now, if you've been with me on this burnout retreat, which I know a few of you have been quite a few times, you know that I'm all about scheduling and planning. I could even procrastinate doing it all day for other people because I'm obsessed with organization. There will always be some kind of resistance, always. The ego doesn't want you to succeed. This brain is programmed to what you were doing 5 years ago. So it doesn't want you to do any of it because why do you want to change? What problem have we got here? What's the problem? And then, of course, the scheduling and the planning is showing this, that, oh my God, she's actioning something like something great's going to happen. Ah! You know, so you want to stop that. So in the file under the guides tab on the group, you have got this where you can print it out. Okay. Now, previously I've gone through it and I'm going to go through it with you quickly now, but we don't need to spend too much time on it because simply that, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? But it gives you an idea. All right. It gives you an idea. And what I do here is I break my days up into half-an-hour segments. All right. So if I get up at 4:30 a.m., 4:30 yoga practice right through till 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. is my prayer, meditation, and intention time. I give thanks, I praise. Yep, glory be to God. We turn around from 5:30 to 6 a.m. is either reading time or I'm getting ready for the day. 6 a.m. till 6:30 a.m. I'm eating my breakfast. I'm having my coffee, my tea. I'm taking a bit of a chill out. I'm having a break. 6:30 till 7, I'm clearing up the kitchen, whatever, doing a bit of housework, get it done. 7 a.m. till 8 a.m, I'm dressed, I'm ready, doing the school run and going off wherever it is I'm working from. Then I will block meetings, I will block calls, I will block segments of work. Like this morning, I've been working on the burnout retreat, tweaking a few little things, tidying up a few little things. Yeah, I've got clients later on. I've blocked out those sessions. This is how my alter ego, Gloria, that we talk about throughout this week, who you want to become, this is how she lives her life. And by 12 o'clock on a Friday, she's finished work. She's finished work and her team have finished work because for the weekend, everybody's off. There is no work. You need to rest this and you need to rest your body. So after you've taken physical exercise, you've done your cardio, you've eaten clean, you feel amazing. You've been going to bed the same time, waking up at the same time. The body clock is now functioning. Something happens. The spirit takes over. This is in the Hindu Ayurvedic practice of yoga. It is the Atman. The Atman comes alive. Something happens to you. You start to feel energy. Yeah. You feel all of that. That's what we did this morning. Moving the quantum field, shifting, changing the way you live your life. It's amazing. You can feel it in between your hands. It vibrates. Your fingertips tingle. The palms of your hands pulsate. This is the matter. You might not be able to see it, but it's there because you can feel it. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to change this physical self. You want to keep this racing, but you want to organize it all. Honestly, I watched both my grandmothers die of dementia. Awful, horrendous. They both had awful pasts, awful upbringings, led to alcoholism, abuse, rape, all of it, awful. These are the women that I come from, hence why my calls are to do with this lack of self-worth. We've all got a story, okay? We've all got a past. We've all got grandparents and female grandparents that have suffered with that because that was their life then. They weren't allowed to talk like this. It would be absolutely forbidden. Even other women, like still now, abscond you out of society. What are you talking about, Deborah? Shut up. Do you know what I mean? I used to get it all the time. And I've got to have my coffee. And the thing is, this mug, it's my Starbucks one. Look at the state of it. Honestly, it looks like from a dirty house, doesn't it? I'll just clean it up so it doesn't look so dirty on the front. It is clean. I think it's like my fourth cup this morning. Anyway, yeah, that's right. And you know they don't sell them in Starbucks. Yeah. Little handbag still. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. So going off on a tangent there. When they go through these phases and these cords are attached to your past and everything else that's happening with you, and you're trying to overcome this, it is absolutely a part of you. So when I watched both my grandparents die of dementia, something happened, and it was the first time I actually saw the physical body change. Their soul was taken out of them. Not their spirit. Your spirit's different. Their soul that lies in here. I always say, like the Build-A-Bear. Do you remember the kids used to have the Build-A-Bears? If your kids are like just been born or something, then you won't know what the Build-A-Bear thing is. But years ago, they had the Build-A-Bear, and you used to go in the shop and the kids would choose the bear, and it was a sack, wasn't it? And then you'd have to put the stuff in, and the person at the machine would say to you, kiss the heart, we're going to put the heart in. And then slowly the bear came alive, right? The kids loved it. We had like hundreds of them. Wondered why I got in debt with a credit card. Anyway, so this is the same as the human body. And I watched it with my own grandparents, and one of them was really ill for 8 years. It was awful. And the other one died very, very quickly. She was a lot more switched on, and she just starved herself. She just refused food and water, and she died within a matter of days. She knew she'd had it as well. She knew it was coming, and she wanted to die. She was so depressed. She missed her husband. The kids had grown up. It was awful for her. And it was the only way she was going to get out of this, existence. And I watched them. And as I watched them deteriorate over the days, I would sit there and realize that something's been taken out of their body. Their eyes are there, but they have this awful glaze over their eyes, and they're looking at you, but they're looking through you. And I realized, I was like, their magic's gone. And you'll find a lot of people that have nursed other family members through this will see. And it's very different to somebody that's suffering with cancer or on those last legs of the cancer journey. They're there, they're magic, they're Atman, it's sort of there. But with dementia and Alzheimer's, it seems to go, it disappears. It's the same if somebody has got serious psychological mental health problems. I watched an aunt go through it, and it's sort of gone. The soul has been taken out, and it does happen. And the physical body literally becomes a robot, and it just moves the way it's supposed to move, the way it physically moves. There's no pushing against matter. There's no physical stresses or strains. There's no embodiment, it's completely detached. And then somebody like me that connects to the other side and connects to all these different levels of energetic fields sees that that person's spirit is still hovering above them, but the soul has left. So theoretically, their physical body is there, but they have died, because the soul makes up the personality. The soul is carried through the hormonal system. The soul is from the pituitary gland, that acorn lump looking thing that they still don't know what it is, but it is so powerful that they know it's there. Right behind the third eye, in the center of the brain, is your pituitary gland. It is the size of an acorn, and it gets ignited, guess what? Through peace, balance, harmony, stillness, meditation, sleep, clean eating, hydration, nutrition. You see, you're pushing this matter and you need to make it as easy and flowing as possible. And with that comes the nutrition. The nutrition and the hydration comes with planning. Okay, so you can jump onto the guides tab, you can download your file, you might already have a diary. Break your day down in half-hour or hour segments. This is where you're going to be able to get your foods in, set your alarms on your phone. All right, remind yourself it's time to drink a glass of water, it's time to have a piece of fruit. Your diet, like I said, is going to be very different to mine. All right. If you have taken so much amazement from this today, DM me, let me know if you want any further assistance. There is so much under the guides tabs on the Facebook group. I implore you to go and have a look about, see what's going on, and get in touch with me with your questions if you've got any. You're all amazing. Absolutely love you loads. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, that's Instagram gone. I'm going to say to you, StreamYarders,